Hello and welcome to Adri's Creative Corner, where we talk about all things Adri. I'm your host, and joining us today is Christian.
Hi, Adri. Thanks for having me again.
And today's topic is our art forms and how we got to this point.
Yes, so Adri and I have definitely had our ups and downs when it comes to the art we're working on, and we've been in many different places, and it finally feels as though we're on the up and up, and both of us equally feel that way. So, Adri, I want to ask first and foremost, what got you interested in photography? And what is something that you can tell someone who is new to photography? Something that you wish you had known when you had started?
Ooh, those are really good questions. I've never thought about that second one. So, how did I get into photography? What made me get into it? So as a kid, I've always loved art. I loved drawing, but I remember I always had a camera. I remember my first camera was a pink Barbie camera when you had the film. You had to take it to like Walmart to print out the pictures.
That's so cute.
As I got older, I remember in high school in California, I was about to take, I was in yearbook. I was about to be in a photography class, and I was in graphic design. And then I moved to Colorado, and that kind of went down the drain because they didn't really offer that at the school I went to. But I always wanted a camera that had an interchangeable lens. And so I remember working at McDonald's after I got my first camera. It was a Coolpix camera, but I don't know why I thought that it had the interchangeable lens. And I was sad that I couldn't take like amazing pictures like the advertised branding pictures that you would see in the magazines. I've always wanted to like take magazine quality photos, and I was not getting there. So in 2019, I purchased a used camera from someone. It was a Rebel, and I was able to get my first 50mm lens, and it kind of just took off. I really only wanted to do landscape photos as well at the time, and someone had reached out and asked if I could take portraits, and that was definitely a challenge, but a challenge I was willing to take, and it kind of just skyrocketed from there.
So it really sounds like you've always been into photography since you were little, and that's something that never really left you. However, at certain points in your life, it felt like it was far away or no longer a part of your journey. So I do also want to know what brought it back.
Whoa, that was a deep question. What brought photography back into my life? I wouldn't say that it ever left, because I always had a camera with me out and about. I think the level and the depth of photography deepened when I finally got that camera with the interchangeable lens. So going back, if I could tell someone who is new to photography something that I wish I had known, is that it could be more than a hobby. Everyone has their own uniqueness to bring to the table, and everyone has a different style. You think there's so much comparitis, and we get into our own heads, but you have to remember, like, everybody has a different style, everybody has a different vibration and energy, and nobody has the same taste, and that's okay. And also to let the no-sayers not get in your way of your creative artwork, because that's what makes you, you. But tell me more about music how long have you been a musician? And how did you get to the point where you're now working with a producer?
Those are excellent questions as well. But before I even get into that, I want to reiterate what you said, that sort of there's this idea that there's room for everyone at the top. I actually just told that to another close friend of mine today, so that really resonates with me. The fact that we don't have to wait for the world to make a place for us. We make a place for ourselves, and the world will catch up. So how did I get started with music? Honestly, I remember I was little, like 2 or 3, and I grew up in a Filipino house, so of course we had a karaoke machine, and my grandparents noticed I would always dance to it whenever it was on, and I was just so calm, so they would just play the karaoke machine and I would entertain myself. So music was always with me too, honestly. And working with a producer, oh wow, that has been a journey. I was convinced for the longest time that I would need to go the reality TV route to make my dreams happen, but it finally occurred to me that I didn't want to sing other people's songs or follow other people's rules. I wanted to share my story and my perspective with the world. And once I finally realized that, the first logical step to me was to contact local producers in the area that I live. And for the longest time too, I had limiting beliefs surrounding finding a producer too. I thought, well, when I finally move to LA, then I can find a producer in LA. But actually there was one here in Colorado all along, and it finally makes sense now why I've been here all this time. I really feel in my heart I was meant to meet the producer that I'm working with now, and he's actually become a really great close friend as well.
Wow, I think that's really cool. I love how it just flowed for you and nothing was ever forced. I think that's so awesome how you realized that you didn't want to do the reality TV route. A lot of people we see on TV thinking that's how they're going to make it. And then they don't get to choose their own paths. But I remember how we had gone to Denver to go audition for The Voice, and you had callbacks, and I thought that was so amazing. But I'm so glad that you're able to create your own path and you found your producer and someone that really has helped you see your own potential and your value, and someone that helps motivate you as well.
Yes, I definitely feel so grateful to be where I am today. And looking back on my life, I'm convinced that every single moment was leading me here. And obviously I did not come this far to only come this far. There are still things that I want to achieve in the music industry, and I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to do that. But enough about me too. I know that you are pursuing mentorship opportunities, you're in active coaching sessions, you're rebranding, you just had a fee schedule change as well. Tell me what great things we can expect for 2024 from Adri's Creations Photography.
Well, just like you're investing in yourself, I decided to finally invest in myself as well. I hired a pretty well-known coach who has worked with pretty well-known people out there. And I also decided to work with a mentor who is pretty well known here in Colorado and different states, who has also gone out of the country to do photography. So I'm pretty excited about that. There are new things coming as well, which I will talk about at a later time. I'm putting a lot of effort and specializing the way I brand and my niche and my artwork, and my value is definitely going up as well, so the prices are equivalent to my value and what I offer.
Wow, we've covered so many topics today, so many good ones, and they're cohesive at least. But I do want to say, for those of you who have questions specifically for Adri or even for me, you can comment using hashtag Adri's Creative Corner, and we will answer each and every one of your questions.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. We can't wait to meet with you guys again next Wednesday.
And speaking of next Wednesday, a little birdie told me that Adri gets to have some of that California sun this weekend. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I'm so fortunate to get some California sun. But until then, bye!